Hello and welcome to the Cognitions pre-show, the Teens Corner. We have Tana and Darius with us today. How are you two doing? You doing fine? All right. I need you to talk into that mic.
I'm doing fine.
Oh, that's so much better. Darius, how you doing?
Well, I'm finally back. I'm okay.
We glad you back, sir. How have you been?
I've been alright.
You've been. He's too cool for his old good. Now, Tana, this is your first time being on the air. Am I correct?
Yes.
How you feel about it?
I'm nervous.
You off to a good start, though.
Oh.
You handling this business. All right. So, what is the topic that you guys have for us to discuss today? What y'all got?
COVID.
COVID. You got COVID?
No.
Get out of here. Okay. So, the topic is COVID. What do you guys want to say about COVID?
I want to say how it affected everyone, like even my family, my peers, friends, whatever, and how it just affected us in general.
What has you guys thinking about this at this point? Because we're kind of are we considered post-pandemic?
I think so.
I think
But at
so.
any given time, we will get back in. I don't think so because the COVID is not as bad as it was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. What has you guys thinking about COVID?
How it's basically affecting teenagers.
Right
And,
now
Well,
or back then?
back then, basically.
Okay, here's my question. Are you guys worried that we could end up back in the pandemic?
Yeah. Now that everyone's no, it's not that. It's not on the news that much anymore, but it's still going around.
Okay, to the point that young people are still concerned about it.
Yes.
This is a little surprising because I didn't know that young people, indeed, you work in the school. I didn't know that young people I didn't know young people were ever concerned about it, to be totally honest. I didn't know
That's
that.
why they were the super spreaders.
Yeah, and y'all are super spreaders.
Yeah, we are.
They did not stop. Not going to stop. Refuse to stop.
Ooh, kids know how to spread some COVID. All right, so what would you guys like to share with our listeners today?
We'd like to share how, COVID basically affected teenagers and older people also. So basically, from my knowledge, when COVID was happening, I was just stuck inside. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, it's a pandemic. Oh, everybody stay inside. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Now I'm just going to be alone, and it's going to get sad and stuff. And the school's going to be horrible because we're going to have to go on virtual, and that's already too much.
Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. Let's talk about it clinically for just a minute because
Okay.
I'm a therapist, so there's always a clinical aspect to almost everything.
Right.
To me, at least. You said lonely and sad.
Yeah.
And what that is called clinically is adjustment disorder with depressed mood. When something happens in your life and it kicks you into some of those symptoms of depression, such as loneliness and sadness. And then what you described is having to adjust to doing school online. Yeah. And if that caused any anxiety, then that would be adjustment disorder with anxiety. Everybody on the planet experiences adjustment disorders. It basically makes us normal that when life happens, you might struggle to adjust to a big life event. Kind of like if someone dies and you experience sadness and crying and you are having sleep disturbance, having trouble sleeping, your appetite might decrease or increase. All of that are regular symptoms of depression that are a part of bereavement, which is grieving the death, the loss of a loved one. And so this is interesting because I wasn't kidding when I was saying that I didn't know that young people were
Well, we
hugely
can't never
affected
use
by this.
absolutes. We can't never use absolutes.
Yeah, they cared about the pandemic.
Yes.
Okay. So
Some of them did.
some well, the two we got sitting up in here did. All right. So tell us more. How did you One, how long did it take before it hit you on a level where you experienced sadness and loneliness?
I say about like a few months in, I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Is this really happening right now? I'm not going to be able to be in school. I'm not going to be able to be around my friends, teachers. And I really like being there physically. And it makes me learn better when I'm there.
Yes, this makes sense because young people, you all are in a stage of development where your peer group is extremely important to you. And so it makes sense that you would be affected in that manner. And I wonder how many adults, such as myself, failed to think about how it was affecting you all socially. Because, see, my daughter's 4, so she wasn't going to school no way. Okay? And my
She
sons
still
are
don't go
grown.
to school.
My baby goes to school. I don't like sitting there, though. I'd like my baby to be home with me. But, and my sons are grown, and so I wasn't really necessarily thinking about that. But you all are at a stage of development where your peer group is extremely important. What did you do to stay connected to your friends? Since you couldn't go hang out with them, you couldn't go to school with them, what did you do to keep those friendships going?
I say social apps like Snapchat and Messenger and Facebook, all those other ones.
Social media. We're going to be getting down with some social media later during the regular part of the show. So this is going to fit in great with that. All right. Darius, what did you do?
All right, thank you.
The boy is too much, D.
I
we
can't do
gonna
nothing but just look at
What
it.
we going to do with Darius? All right. Come on, sir. Tell me. What you got?
Well, you see now, it was
What'd you do to stay connected to your peeps?
well, I didn't really need any friends. You see, like, I had cousins, like some real ones, you know?
Oh, okay. Were you able to see them, though,
Yeah.
during the pandemic?
Not during the pandemic.
Okay. So, to deal with the loneliness and being separated from your friends and your cousins, how did you stay connected to them?
Quite simple. Just played the game, you know, been chilling.
Okay. So, playing with, and y'all, okay. Well, all right.
Still,
Not really social media.
It
but
is.
but electronically.
Electronically still. That's what our young people do. All right. And so that helped. Now,
Yes.
here's a question. Because a lot of people became addicted to video games during the pandemic.
More so.
More so. Yeah, because they was already addicted. And Darius, he looked like he might be addicted to video
Pretty
games.
much.
He was sitting here thinking about video games while we was doing this show. Darius,
I was not.
are you addicted to video games?
All right, let's get one thing clarified. I don't play Valorant, all right? So don't compare me to them.
So you're not addicted to video games.
Now I'm just built different.
Okay.
He's
built,
what?
He's just built different.
Oh, okay.
Does that
yes,
mean
he
that you
is.
does that
I
mean
do agree.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that a little bit since he's built different. So you're saying that you're not susceptible to addictions.
Nah,
You're not prone to becoming addicted to things.
I don't like being addicted.
You don't like well, most people don't. But my question is because some people are predisposed to becoming addicted to things. You can even be genetically predisposed to becoming addicted to things. Like if you have family members, parents, grandparents, who generations of people where there
Who
has
gambled.
been or drink or anything, if they have
Drugs.
struggled with addictions, it will make you genetically predisposed to developing an addiction.
One of
But
the
what
reasons why I don't do anything.
is there addiction in the family? Okay. And really most families have
Most families do.
Somebody high. So I got some
Everybody.
high family members
It's
somewhere
in
right
every
now.
family.
They too high to even pay attention to this show
Yeah.
right now.
They're not gonna know nothing until you're
Right.
dead and gone.
Right. That's why I can talk about them and they
Say
don't
whatever
know.
you want to say.
Right, which I do. Right. Okay. Darius, back to you. See, me and the D, we get to rolling. We almost forgot y'all was here. So you're saying that you're just wired different. You do not have to worry about becoming addicted, and you are not addicted to video games. And even during
He's
the
addicted
pandemic,
to rubbing on this non-existent beard. How about that?
his invisible beard.
His
The
invisible
boy got an
beard.
invisible beard, but he grooming it.
But
He's
trying to
grooming
get
it.
together.
Wait, no. It's there. It's there. It's there.
Christmas
It's
with the
there.
kids.
I got about like
It's there. Well, look,
hairs.
and I ain't got my glasses on. I'm sure it's there. Okay, but the D had her eyes fixed, and she'll see nothing on your face.
it's there. I'm telling you.
All right, Darius. And so, but you're saying that you did not become addicted, but is this something that you guys heard about your peers? Do you have peers who developed addictions to electronics or social media during the pandemic?
I was one of them.
Tell us about that. See, Tana keeps it real up. in
Okay,
here.
Yes,
so
she does.
basically, like I said, since I was just at home and I was bored, I was just on my phone all the time. So I had nothing else to do, and it was either playing games, be on your phone,
Watch TV.
watch TV, be on TikTok. It's mostly just TikTok. The whole entire pandemic was TikTok for me.
And you know what? I got to say this about TikTok. TikTok is a high risk for addiction.
It is.
It be some good stuff on TikTok. I discovered TikTok during the pandemic. And I was like, oh, this is why everybody's looking at this. You can quickly lose like 2-3 hours on
I
TikTok.
can't do that. That's why I don't do it.
Have you? You probably ain't never been
don't.
on there.
Yes, I have, and I put it down.
Really?
I literally, like, someone will send me a TikTok, like on that pastor in Texas, the big one, TD Jakes. Like,
Okay.
I always get snippets from TikTok
Uh-huh.
from him, and I train my mind. I will only look
At that,
at that, and then I put it down.
TikTok be having some good stuff on there.
And lose too much time in it. I don't have no time to give.
Oh, TikTok. Okay. And so one of the things that is being dealt with in Congress, here he goes again with that. He knows that's
He's
going to be picked
waving.
up. He knows that's going to be picked up. One of the things that Congress is dealing with is there is a parent group that is trying to get legislation put in place to better regulate social media because so many kids have become addicted to it, and there has been an increase in suicidality. More and more young people are becoming suicidal as a result of the life and that whole social media culture. It is affecting young people on some deep levels. Do you guys know anything about that?
Okay. Let me say something. I can say a lot on this topic. Basically, what I think from my perspective of this, I think parents should not give their kids electronics until they reach a certain age of like where they can have it, but then they should like actually like watch over them and watch over the time they be on the phones because look, basically I'm saying is watch over your kids and be in your kids' lives because I
From
can't
the
take
mouth
this.
of babes every week, except for the little cusser. From the mouth of babes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what else were you saying, Tam?
Oh, yeah, I was about
you
to
got
say.
the D so excited. she just jumped in on you. What
I'm
else
just
were you saying?
I would prefer if like my parents are in my life instead of like handing me a phone or a laptop. Like spend valuable times with your kids instead of just handing them phones and like being like, oh, watch this, watch that. Because I feel like kids nowadays, what was it called? Gen X something.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know which generation we
I
dealing with
don't
right
know.
now. The generations, they becoming so fast.
Because there's so many different names now. But anyways, I'm basically saying is don't give your kids phones, laptops and actually being in their lives.
iPads. I mean, I be seeing little bitty kids like 2 and 3 with iPads.
Yeah.
All
You,
right then.
Tana, you have touched on something very valid. During the pandemic, and really before the pandemic, a lot of parents were using electronics to babysit their children,
It
especially
used
during
to be the
pandemic.
TVs. In
Yes.
our generation, it was TVs.
Yeah, right, but now they can provide their kids with all of these electronics to occupy their time because the parents, a lot of parents were going stir crazy having their kids home all day, every day. And they
Well,
were
JP,
using
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to
electronics.
stop. We're going to save this topic for next week. We're going to go to a small commercial. You can take us there, Mr. Walker.
Wrap
You'll be
it
on
up.
the phone all the whole
Yeah,
time.
we gotta
anyway,
wrap
talking
it up.
loud.
Trying to go home and go to sleep.
Me too.
Why is he tired and need to go to sleep? I could hear you.
Oh, well, maybe my ear things is messed up.
Hello, and welcome to Cognition, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP.
And Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock. I'm here with the one and only Stacy D. Love, and we are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for knowledge, understanding,
And wisdom.
and wisdom. You can also catch us on KOJH 100.5 on your FM dial,
The FM dial.
Twitch, Twitter, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Coming up on the show today, our question of the day is, how does one benefit from sharing their personal life on social media? What are the costs of this? And do the benefits outweigh the costs? And this is a really good topic following up because we had
was
our
too
Teens
much.
Corner. Well, we had our Teens Corner here for those of you listeners who was watching the show, the pre-show, and they were talking about social media and we were discussing addiction to social media during the pandemic, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to continue that discussion with them next week because
But
they were
did you
really
hear
on it.
Tanya? She was really crying out for her parents to be more into her than
Well,
the electronics.
or she was just referencing what she knows
no,
was
she
going
said
on
it.
with young people.
No, she said it.
Oh, she said her. Okay. I was like, D, now don't be putting Tana's parents on blast like that.
Well, they need to be.
Okay, D. Moving on,
Well,
D.
tell them to come on up here. They want some.
Oh
I'm
my
about to get
Lord,
messed
what is
up
going
again.
on with you, D?
I
You
told you.
are
I
in a
just-
mood today.
Yes,
Now, I need you to
yes.
act like you got some sense. Now, what's going on, D? What's going on? This is your check-in.
This is my check-in.
let's get
Okay.
straight to the check-in because you clearly in a mood. What is wrong with the D?
Okay, so the D. So y'all know the D is out here dating, right? Dating
Which is always interesting.
dating is so terrible. It is like I was not supposed to been doing this at my age. Dating.
Well, but D, we talked about you making it a fun experience.
It's not a fun experience when you got ignorant people.
Okay.
So I was talking to one of my little friends on the phone. You know, he gets mad because he can't have enough time with me. But he was really good. You know, he owns like 3 dump trucks and da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so pretty good match because I'm really trying to go for the entrepreneur because we're busy people. But it looked like I'm busier than everyone.
Well, that means you just haven't landed on the right entrepreneur. You need somebody whose business is maybe busier. Because your complaint is that they got too much time on their hands.
They got too much time on it.
And they want too much of your time.
Yeah.
And so you just need an entrepreneur who has more going on, D. But what
Yeah.
happened?
Okay, so the guy, I was like, you know, first impressions mean everything to me. I'm like, first impressions means everything. So he was like, yeah, if I knew then what I know now at Quick Trip, I would have hurried up and got back in my car and not said nothing when I seen the big old booty.
Oh, wow.
So I goes to say, so what do you mean by that, Cleet? Because I don't
Because
name
that
him
sounds
by,
pretty clear.
yeah, because I don't call him by his real name. I call him Cleet
Okay.
because he looked like Cletus. So I call him Cleet.
Oh, does he listen to
Yes,
he listen to the
does.
show?
At least he used to.
Oh.
So
what else
Cleet,
did
I
you
said,
say?
Why did you say that? And he was like, because a big booty and smile will get you messed up every time. I'm like, I
Whoa.
was like, you know, I have been knowing you for over 2 years and you still haven't figured me out. And that's why you're continue to be in the friendship, in the friend zone. And he was like, well, I don't do things on the friend like a friend zone. I'm like, and what do you mean by that? He was like, whenever you act like you need something, I'm there and I'm cash apping. I'm like, but I don't ask you for anything. He was like, yeah, but you know what? You have thirsty written on the side of your face.
Oh, D. He came for you.
So I told that leprechaun, because
Cletus.
he's short, Cletus,
He's
the
short.
leprechaun.
Hold up. He's short.
Yes!
D. If I'm not mistaken,
I'm
and Mr. Walker, please
trying to
correct me
go
if I'm
out.
mistaken.
I'm trying to, I'm
The
trying to
D.
open up my box.
No, you have always said
I know. But he,
that you ain't dating no short man, and the short man can't get nothing out of the short man. He got to be at least 6 foot.
at least
D.
6 feet tall to ride the ride. He
How
didn't
short
get-
is this
he
man?
didn't
Because
get
you
to
called
ride-
him a leprechaun.
He didn't get to ride the ride though.
That's why he's bad.
That's why he might be mad.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, he didn't
Thank
get
God
right.
the kids are gone.
He might be 5'6",
Ooh, D. He's
I mean,
Prince's height.
Yeah, he's.
Can he
tall-
sing?
But he's taller
Don't be
than me.
Prince's height if you ain't singing.
Exactly.
You only are allowed to be that little if you are singing,
If you're singing.
like Prince.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
had to really give him the thing about never thirsty. I never asked you for anything. He was like, you didn't have to. I'm like, exactly, because I'm a real woman. Real woman don't need to ask for anything.
but he's basically saying you have been using him. And he think that he done paid enough money to ride the ride.
Ride the ride. No.
And so he's
and
mad.
I told him, no, you haven't paid enough money to ride the ride. I don't even like you like that.
D. From a male's perspective, he's upset because he's like, listen, you should have told me I wasn't going to get to ride the ride before I start spending this money.
I've been talking to you for over a year and a half.
So he should have figured it out.
You don't even know where I live at.
So, so clearly he wasn't going to get to ride the ride if he didn't know where. Yeah, okay. So he does not read women well.
No.
And so he's
and I used to
upset.
always call him friend. Friend.
But D, you have called people
Friend.
friend that you were dating because the only other option is to call them a boyfriend or something. And if you just date them, they not your man. So that would not say to him, he thought you meant special friend who's going to be riding rides.
No, he couldn't ride a ride.
And so now he's angry and bitter because he spent all this
Very
money.
bitter.
And so he has
And then
classified
told me
you
to
as
have
thirsty.
A good life. I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
he's
I
done
will.
with you.
Okay. And
Wow.
yeah.
Are you
But he
going to
really
miss him,
made
D?
me- No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because he was really like a bugaboo. But he was nice. He had a real good heart, you know. Like I said, I could just be like, ooh, I'm hungry. He was like, what you feel like eating? And I might be like, I want some Cheesecake Factory. He's like, what you like eating at Cheesecake Factory? I said, the Chipotle chicken, Cajun chicken. Guess what? Ding dong. Ding dong.
Because he was trying to take care of you, D. And he thought you was thirsty.
I told him, guess
He said, I got to feed this heifer. I don't know what to do.
But I hit him. This is when he told me to have a good life. I said, you know what? Your money may be longer than mine. Because he has 3 dump trucks. Your
Okay.
money may or may
dump
not
trucks
be
bring in good dough.
Yeah, he might be. His money might be longer than mine. But I'm more wealthier than you are.
We need to come up with a title for.
And not thirsty.
We need no. We need to come up with a title for these dating stories that you tell, D. Like we need to. This could be its own segment because
I'm leaving
ridiculous
Quick Trip
things
alone.
keep happening with you dating, D. I think it's because you was out the game for a while, and dating. This is modern dating, D. And in modern
And what
dating,
modern dating mean?
I
That's
really
just like my
don't
boyfriend.
fully know.
Listen, that's
but
just like the birthday boyfriend. I done cut him low off too.
why?
He made me mad.
Okay, was he calling you thirsty?
No, he didn't call me thirsty.
Okay,
He just told me I didn't have enough time for him.
with modern dating,
Let's
talk
about modern dating.
I think that if a man starts spending money, you need to let him know early on that he's in the friend zone. And so he's spending money as a
if
friend.
they not riding the ride after a year and a half and you're not riding the ride,
Okay, we
you don't even know where I live at.
we have our attorney, Valencia.
Valencia, come on, get on up here on the mic, Valencia.
Valencia, come on to the table.
Come on to the
Valencia.
mic.
Over here, Valencia, sit on down. Because Valencia is in agreement with the D. But I'm saying you can't be having a man spend his money. Mr. Walker, Professor,
Men are
I need y'all to
hunters.
chime in on this on the microphone.
Men are hunters.
and he was hunting with
he
his
was
money.
hunting with his money, but he wasn't
And-
catching nothing.
But because you friend zoned him, but he didn't know he was friend zoned.
Yes, he did.
And
'cause
so
I
a
had
year
told him
later,
several times that, you know what, I'm not in the business of changing anyone, but a lot of ways that you have and a lot of values that you have do not align up with mine.
but
What else
did
am
you?
I supposed to say?
You have to explicitly state. Listen, you and me,
That's why he's clean.
romantically, it's not happening.
Because it sounds like when you told him that, he was trying to change himself.
So that he could ride the ride.
Line up.
And so you
It's
weren't.
hard for your values to change. It's
You
very
have to
hard
be.
for your values
Well,
to change.
yeah. I agree. But D, you have to be in modern dating. You have to be really explicit. If you have friend zoned somebody, you have to let them know, like, me and you, it's not happening. So that then if he continues to spend his money, he knows he's spending it as a friend. See, he was shocked when you told him that. He's like, I thought I was, what? And that's why he got mad and decided, because he started thinking about the money he spent. I done spent this money on this heifer. She thirsty.
I know,
And so then he
bought
got you
tires.
thirsty. He bought tires.
I was at the
Run
dealership.
flats.
Yeah, I was at the
Oh,
dealership.
you done messed up
I was
now.
at the dealership. He called me. He's like, "Where you at?" I'm like, "At Mini Cooper." He's like, "What's wrong? Something wrong with the car?" I'm like, "I came to get an oil change, but they tell me I need 4 tires." He was like, "I'm on my way."
Run flats.
Yeah, that's how they do. I don't have a spare.
D.
What?
There's no spares anymore. They don't make spares for cars.
Oh well, hell no, they don't.
He bought 4 run flat tires.
because you can't buy them 2 at a time.
You show who you telling? I know. I had 1 flat tire and had to buy 4 of them things. Okay, for those of you, our listeners, because I didn't even know what run flat tires were until the D told me, and I had them on my car.
Exactly. He didn't even know what they were.
I was like, "What are those?"
That must have been after I got my tires. At the Cleat bought my tires. Thank
The
you,
D
Cleat.
had to tell me what kind of tires I had on my car. Okay, these for our listeners. Those are tires that do not go flat. You can drive them for up to 50 miles as long as you don't go over 50 miles an hour, and they will not go flat. Okay, and so the D had told me that I had some, and I was like, she's tripping. But I ended up with a flat, and the thing said I had like 2 psi, and I still made it all the way home. What I didn't know is that I couldn't go over 50 miles an hour, and I was on the freeway when it happened. Yeah, and so, but I still made it. It didn't turn into a situation. My point is, those are very expensive tires. And
But I didn't ask him about the tires. He just asked me where I was. I told him. He's like, "I'm on my way," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And the man was like, "Do we gonna do them?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I was finna pay for my own tires. Then he came up and was like, "How much is it?" I'm like, "Go ahead on."
he thought he was gonna be riding the ride though that day for sure.
I have a question. So, if after a year and a half, he kind of knows he's in the friend zone, for real. But he kind of kept doing things. Sometimes,
But I would tell him I'm going on other dates.
I don't think he thought he had a chance of making it out of the zone because the D kept accepting monetary gifts. This is how men think.
We
They're
used to
like,
go out to eat though. He loved trying to feed me. 'cause
he
he's
was
little.
still spending money.
He a
thought-
leprechaun.
He thought he could get out of the friend zone. He's upset. He feels like you let him on. Because you weren't totally clear. D, this is modern dating. Stop dating like you did in the 80s. D, this is not 1987. Now pull it
Those the good
together.
old days.
it's just one of those that he could just like, hey, something's wrong. Come drop a few dollars here on you.
But guess what? That's what I'm accustomed to.
Right. And so, I mean, no, I guess what
Yeah,
I'm saying is that he just did that so freely, and he, year and a half, whatever. So was that just kind of his way? He just wanted to help people and take care of people?
No,
'Cause
he was
there's
trying to
something
ride
else
the ride.
going on with him,
Valencia.
too.
He was trying to ride the ride.
He was trying to ride the ride.
Oh, no, I believe. I'm just saying.
And the D did not explicitly let him know that he was not going to get to. Okay, so D, because next week there's going to be another dating story, right? So,
Nah, I think I'm just gonna take a time off to next year.
and
I'm
she's-
gonna rest for next year.
She's saying that she's not going to take a time out. Let me tell you, she does not take a time out.
I
D,
tries.
as you, in preparation for the next dating experience, I want you to try this out. If you're not into the guy, let him know he's in the friend zone. I guarantee you he will stop spending money. That man kept
I might
spending
not
money
wanna
because
stop
he
spending
thought
money.
he had a chance.
Which
Okay, let's get to my check-in. Let's get to my check-in. Oh my God. This is serious. This is so serious.
Is this with the dog?
Yes. Yesterday, I'm sitting in my office.
At home.
At home, my home office, not my office. And I was in a meeting with someone I had never been in a meeting with. This wasn't even a client. I hear this screaming. My baby. Now my baby's 4. Okay. And Valencia, let me tell you something about my baby.
yeah,
Okay, she's precious.
I've heard.
Okay, let me no. You don't know, Valencia.
He'll kill a rock over.
She is unbelievable. Okay.
Yes.
And I have never heard her scream like this before. Screaming and crying. It was like I've never heard. It was like it was traumatic. And so my wife, Nadine, ran in there, and all I heard her scream is that the dog was attacking my baby.
No.
The dog is only 2 weeks old.
The dog ain't 2 weeks old anymore. The dog, how old is the dog? 3-4 months old?
Yeah.
It's a puppy.
It's still.
This is what had happened. All that morning, for some reason, we have a Maltese,
Okay.
a puppy, and she, for some reason, had been trying to bite my baby all day. She's biting her feet and biting her feet. Here's why, psychologically, a little bit of dog psychology, because of course I had to look
Now
up.
he's a
Yeah,
now
look
he's
it
a
up.
dog whisperer now.
Round the dog. Because let me tell you, anybody can get some therapy from me. Okay?
Tune into the dog.
You don't discriminate.
Let me
Okay.
tell you, I will have a session with anybody.
At anything.
So psychologically, puppies play by biting each other. And so when you buy one and they're in the house and they don't have other puppies, they bite the humans. But what's interesting is that she doesn't really do that with me. But she's constantly trying to bite my baby. And so she was biting Sashi's feet, and Sashi was running and screaming, "Stop, Hannah, stop, Hannah." At one point, I had to put her in the bed for like 30 minutes just to get her away from the dog. So all of this is leading up to this. And so when I
The
hear
dog
my
is
wife,
gone.
this dog is so close to being gone. And let me tell you what the Lord did, okay? Because we got to take a minute to praise Him.
Yes.
If I would have been able to get in that room and I would have walked in, because what happened is Nadine said that my baby was curled up in the fetal position and the dog was biting and scratching her lower back and her behind, which left her with bruises. So I almost wasn't able to take her to school today. Because you know you can't take your
Yeah.
baby to school with no bruises on her butt. They the hotline the hell out of me, and I don't got time for them kind of problems. And so she was curled up in the fetal position, screaming and crying, and the puppy was just biting. And it's a puppy. And so if I would have, this is what I'm saying, that the Lord saved the dog. Because if I would have made it into that room and saw my baby under it, I would have immediately threw the dog across the room. Okay.
You know you don't like dogs anyway.
Well, that's not true. I didn't like my wife's previous dog. I'm the one that picked out this Maltese. I'm
It
the
was
one
your
that,
dog.
They're really good with children.
yeah,
But so maybe,
Biting
I'm trying to
my
see,
baby.
I'm trying to see. Did Dream do that?
she is constantly trying to bite my baby.
You want Dream to come over and play with her?
Dream gonna get bit.
Now Dream grown.
Oh, then Dream know how to whoop some. You know what? I almost said the
Some
wrong
puppy
thing.
You about to get some trouble.
About to get a censored. About to get a censored. Okay, so I'm happy that I didn't come in. I was so upset. Now, this is what I ended up saying, and y'all might disagree. Do you have a dog?
I do.
Valencia? What do you have?
So she's a Shih Tzu. And
Okay, so you got a little
she's
dog,
two.
too.
She's little.
Okay, you got a little dog too. The D has a Maltese, which is why we have a Maltese, because the D suggested Maltese, okay? And it's attacking my baby. Thanks, D. And so I was so upset, and I was upset. Like, I was almost in tears. And I told my baby, because my wife has been saying, do not hit the dog. Don't ever hit the dog. We never hit the dog. Don't ever hit the dog, which I can kind of agree with that. But when
Dream gets
for
whooped.
that situation, and I mentioned you, I said the D gives her dog look with a paper. I told my baby, I said, if the dog bites you, if the dog ever does that again, you slap the dog. And I showed
In the
her,
little mouth.
I showed her how to slap the dog. And so
and say no.
Nadine got upset, and she was like, I'm not okay with you can't tell that. And I told this woman, because I was so
We don't
upset.
have. We don't have no.
Oh, she probably about to text in something. But let me tell you, I told her I don't care what she say. My baby is to never get attacked, and she is to slap the fire out of that dog.
Ooh, I thought you was about to say something else.
I did too. I was like, what are you finna say? What are you finna say?
Fire means that. And so, because I need her to, everything that we have tried to get the dog to stop biting her hasn't worked. You say no, and if the dog stops, you give the dog a treat. None of that is working.
You're not putting her in the crate when she do it.
We've tried putting her in the
When she start doing
crate.
that.
We tried.
How do y'all put her in the crate?
In fact, I had put her in the crate earlier. That was one of the other interventions I had done yesterday in the morning, is put her in the crate for biting my baby was in tears.
Does she even want to deal
sounded
with the dog now?
traumatized. Huh?
Does she even want to deal with the dog now?
My baby is so sweet that after we consoled her and I took her downstairs to fix her breakfast,
cream?
I looked up, she done went in the family room. She talking to the dog like the dog hadn't just mauled her. Okay, that's how sweet my baby is. Now, there is a clinical aspect to this situation, because Valencia, there's always a clinical aspect to every situation.
everyone.
Our limbic system in the brain houses our defense mechanisms, which are fight, flight, and freeze, right? My baby's defense mechanism told her to freeze and curl up in the fetal position. I have a problem with that, though. And my problem is, we, as black folks, our first defense mechanism is not to freeze. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this. I would rather my baby's defense mechanism be, first, do I need to fight? Or do I need to run? And then you freeze. Because some
I don't even
animals
want mine to think about it. Just go do the fight.
go straight to fight.
Just straight to fight.
Because and the freeze response is, if you think about it, there are some animals that are, when a predator is near, they freeze and play dead, and the predator goes away because they only want to kill live prey. We as humans also have that freeze response, and she froze. I want her to learn that if you are under attack, because I was looking beyond the situation with the dog. If you are under attack, the idea of my baby curled up in the fetal position while any living thing is attacking her, I find that to be disturbing. Because in our household, my mama made it very clear. If somebody hits you,
You better hit them back.
until they drag you off of that person. And when you get suspended, you on vacation the whole suspension.
You're
And
not
that's
in
how
trouble.
that's how I handled it with our sons. Okay? Because when one of my sons was being bullied and We was having trouble getting him to whoop some tail. We put that boy in some karate classes, and let me tell you, the school, I warned the school. I said, listen, I told y'all to get rid of this bullying problem, and you did not. And I am warning you, we are going to release him on somebody. I ended up getting a call from them saying that they had to call the ambulance because he had whooped some I said, because I told him to continue to punch and stomp until y'all drag him off of his bully. Okay.
That's an old school parent. You got some of that old school parent in you.
Because that's how my mama was. And I remember even when I was in high school and I had, you know, I had a bully who had been acting a fool with
We
us.
had bullies in high school.
Yes, and for freshman year, there was like this second or third year senior that was bullying me and my friends, and I was like, I'm just gonna go up in this classroom and punch this bully till they drag me off of him. And I got suspended. We fought twice that day, and my mama was like, you ain't in no trouble because
trouble.
he was a bully.
That's right.
Then you need to do what you got to do. And so I'm looking at it from the perspective of my baby's she's a really sweet child, and we've never had a problem with her being physically aggressive with other kids. She is literally a non-fighter, which in a way kind of, there's a negative side to that because she's going to be vulnerable to bullying. I need for her immediate reaction to be, if you attacking me, it's going down. Because if my wife or I, let's say if we would have been upstairs and they would have been downstairs, who knows how much damage the dog could have done before we would have gotten there. This happened with us just right up the hall. And so that's part of the clinical aspect to this, is that our limbic system, and we can teach our children to figure out when you fight, when there's a time for flight, and when there's a time for freeze. And when it comes, if a dog is biting my baby, she gonna have to slap the heck out there. And my wife does not like it. And I'm like, they are liable to come home and the dog be gone. That's how upset I was yesterday. I was like, because I'm so upset, I can't even trust me around this dog. And I would rather give the dog away than be worried about it attacking my baby and me flinging a Maltese across. All you see is a white cotton ball flying up against the wall. I'm not trying to live like that. Here's the other clinical aspect to this. All throughout the day, I continue to hear the screams of my baby. Like, I would be doing something and just that whole scene would replay. And because I didn't see it and I heard it, when you hear something, your imagination automatically creates a picture. And so the picture in my mind of what was going on may be worse than what was going on, but I've never heard my baby scream like that. And so I was having images in my mind and hearing those screams, which is acute distress disorder. Okay. And let me explain about that. PTSD, acute stress disorder, precedes PTSD, because when we experience something traumatic, you have to have the trauma symptoms for at least 30 days before it's considered PTSD. So that 0 to 30 days, it's called acute stress disorder. And so a lot of times when people experience something, they're like, I have PTSD because this happened 2 weeks ago. Technically, they have acute stress disorder. And the reason why there's a differentiation is because a lot of times the symptoms will resolve themselves before the 30 days. And so the person never develops PTSD. I'm having acute stress disorder. Every time I looked at that dog yesterday, I wanted to slap the taste out this dog's mouth for attacking my baby, because she was clinging to me, like she was clinging, and just, she was traumatized. So y'all tell me, am I tripping, or am I overreacting to the whole situation? Because you got a Maltese, D. Does your dog attack people?
Now, my first one did. He was mean. He didn't want nobody around me. He didn't want nobody coming.
Who
in
did
the
he
house.
attack?
Everybody that came in the house.
Literally, like biting them.
Mm-hmm.
Kids, though,
Mm-mm.
dogs don't usually attack kids.
He didn't
And
mess with. He didn't mess with my grandchildren. He didn't mess with them at all.
Dogs
But
are
if
usually
a man came in the house,
Oh,
and
of
he didn't know
course.
him, oh, you getting bit.
right. Dogs usually protect kids. Because when I was a kid, we had a vicious dog when I was a kid. We had a Great Dane, and he bit plenty of people. But he never bit kids. My mother was a foster parent. It would be 12, 13 kids in our house. He did not attack kids. The only time he would do anything to a kid is if they did something to
To
him.
him. Mm-hmm.
But generally, he would protect. Like if the doorbell rang and my mama would go to the door, he would come and stand
Right next to
between her, in between the door and her. Like, he protected the kids. So I didn't know how to wrap my mind around the way she was screaming. I don't know why that didn't stop her from biting my baby. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, one, who's biting kids? Two, how are you biting and clawing at my baby while she's screaming bloody murder?
Mm-hmm. Sarah never did that, and I'm trying to think about Dream. Like Dre used to always play fight with her, and I don't know. I can't think of my baby's acting like that.
Dogs don't usually attack kids. They attack grown-ups.
Mm.
So
Maybe she just got tired of baby girl from messing with her, and
but my baby don't mess with her.
okay,
She
well, no,
doesn't
you,
do.
You just got a
Sashi
bad
is
breed.
non-aggressive.
You
She's
just got a
non-aggr-
bad breed then.
It's Maltese.
No, I ain't never had that problem. And you went through my breeder. I never had that problem. Dream is so good.
If
Like I said, maybe I need to let Dream. They need to have a
play date.
play date.
Let me tell you, she has from now until she's an adult to learn to not, because if she was an adult dog, full grown, and she attacks or bites my baby, it's gonna be an unpleasant situation up in the house.
But you guys have to teach her that that's not okay too.
That's how we're gonna teach her, because I told my baby slap
She
the
does.
dog
She
when
needs
she
to do it.
does that, and I showed her how to do it.
And say
you know,
no.
I didn't say punch her or beat her half to death, but like you got to give her a tap so that she knows, like, stop biting me.
That's what we do, even for little Dior. She's a year and two. Actually, she's
Dior.
2 now. Little Dior.
Dior.
And so even like now, she likes to play, and you're doing things that she wants to like nibble at your little finger. I told my daughter we can't let her do that because they keep doing it. That's how they play. It seems like they don't have anybody else to play with. So we've had to tap her and then put her still in her little kennel, and we'll let her out after a little bit.
Y'all
but we
give
gotta
her a little
her.
tap.
We do.
And the dog
gets
the dog psychology says not to put your fingers in the face of the puppies, because that teaches them to bite at them. And that is something that I've had to tell Sashi, don't do that. Don't put your fingers in her face. Don't. And they said that Malteses don't really like to be pet on their head anyway. They prefer to be pet from the shoulders back. Do you pet your baby on the head?
I never pet. They like to be rubbed.
Yeah. And
But I
because
started
their
from
head
her
is too
head.
little to pat them.
Yeah,
You be
don't
done
do
knock
that.
their brain
Yeah,
loose.
I used to, but she wanted to start from her head on that.
So she does allow you to pet her head,
Rub.
her head. Okay.
Both of them did. You'll be sitting on the couch and they'll get up in there and then get up underneath your hand so you make sure.
And
you
make
rub
and
them.
keep on doing it right.
Yeah,
Because
they're
they're people dogs. That's the reason why we got her. Because when we did the research, it was like this is a dog that loves people more than they love other dogs.
Yes.
They are
don't
lap.
care for
They're
dogs.
literally lap dogs. This heifer better learn not to bite my baby. I know that.
You got to train her.
Oh, that's how we gonna train.
Okay.
All right, let's get to our question of the day.
Yeah, because we did everything else.
Well,
Our 2 chickens
I'm
was
sitting
off
here
the chain, weren't
traumatized.
they?
I'm sitting here traumatized, D.
I see.
I need you to be empathetic.
I am.
All right. So our question of the day, and I want y'all to help me with this. Okay, especially because D, you're single. Now, Valencia, are you single?
I am single.
Okay. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay. How does one benefit from sharing their personal life on social media? What are the costs, and do the benefits outweigh the costs? This is where this question is coming from. I am having more and more clients, couples, young couples, showing up for therapy, and their conflict is he won't post me on social media. He doesn't post me. He doesn't post me. She doesn't post me. And when I first heard the term, I'm like, okay, I assume that this means that if you are in a relationship, in addition to changing your status on social media to say that you're in a relationship, you have to make posts that makes it clear that you are in a relationship
done
with
all
this
that.
person. Because it's stupid.
I mean, when I got married, I did put up wedding pictures.
So you posted him.
Yeah, that was first time.
But that's everybody. I posted wedding. Everybody
yeah,
does that.
and that was it. But as far as I love my baby, and not everybody don't need to be in my business.
That's what
like
they are
that.
talking about. And
No.
and so these couples are having full blown fights because there's usually one person in the couple who just doesn't really do social media.
And that's
so
me.
and that person will be like, okay, I'm not posting her, but what she's not telling you is that I don't post anything. I have not even been on social media in 3 months. So how am I in trouble for not posting her? And it's rooted, I think it's rooted, and y'all correct me if I'm mistaken, I think it is rooted in insecurity, a need to let the whole world know we are in a relationship. And if you don't let the whole world know, it's because you are still trying to look single and you planning on cheating on me.
Well, that's what was told to me.
What? What happened? What happened?
Yeah, because
Because you wasn't posting a fool?
it was the last husband. I didn't like tell him happy birthday on social media. Like on my birthday, he was like, boy, this is the day a queen was born. Well, not too much of a queen. You cheated on me. But I didn't.
I knew you was going to go there.
But on his birthday, I didn't like give out the shouts to my husband. No, I don't do all that. And then not to mention you out here cheating on me. Why I want everybody to know anyway.
And it becomes, and I've noticed this, and I need to talk to my wife
They
about
said
this.
real players walk in silence.
Well, and that's why, them couples ended up in
that's
therapy.
the whole about the player thing.
Real players walk in
Because
silence.
And
But-
that's why people are wanting to be posted, because they don't want to be with a real player.
I just don't think it's that serious. I just don't think it's, hey, as long as I show you love and for 4 whiles, that's all that matters. I could care less what anybody else think.
Do y'all feel any pressure to do it?
Yes, I get pressure all the time. That's why I don't take pictures. Somebody take me out to dinner. Come on, babe, take a. No, I didn't take no picture with you.
And so here's the challenge with that. So I personally, I don't do social media and all that. So therefore I get away from it because of that.
So
But
you're not under the pressure to post nobody.
No, and I don't want nobody posting me, but I ain't gonna post you either. So we know it, but I'm
Come
in,
to
but,
an agreement.
but I'm in no relationship. So I know a lot of my daughter's friends. She's 43, so in that age range. So when they
Wait a
are,
minute, you got a daughter 43, girl. You look good.
oh, well, thank
Blacks
you,
don't
sister.
crack unless
Because
you
she
want
look
it.
43.
Oh, y'all so beautiful. So my but in
I'm
that
like, Valencia,
in that
what you been
age
doing?
range, chill, nothing. That's the
We both looking at Valencia.
and being single. I mean, I just mind my business.
Look at me and
You know.
Stacy. Man, we like, what you been doing?
No, but what happens is when they're like on the social media pages and everything, they're the dating apps. They're looking to see, do they post somebody? I mean, no, meaning the people that are looking to date, if they're looking out there on the social media, because that's the only way they know if they're really
Well, they don't
single.
see nothing
So
online.
that's the reason that couples, because they did it too, probably, meaning you know if someone's single,
No
you
head
say,
ons. That's
it's
why
like-
we have to have you on here.
They're like, well, they ain't got nobody on their page. Well, maybe they single. So then, if later it finds out they're not, well, you lied. You lied. You didn't show nobody. I mean, you have your family, your mom and daddy, everybody on there, but no mate. And then, so there's an assumption that you really are
Single.
single.
And so the couples are ending up in therapy because somebody's complaining, you not posting me, you're trying to look single, and people are pursuing you.
Right.
You need to post me. But to the person who doesn't really do social media like that, they are upset about this pressure. Like, so I have
It's
to.
disturbing my peace.
We can't just have our anniversary. I have to post something.
I
We
know,
can't
that's
just
like
celebrate
But-
your
people go out to
but
birthday.
that's
dinner.
what's
taking
common
a picture
now.
of their dinner and all that. I just think all that is like so
It's
retarded.
It's over the top.
much.
But that's what people are doing. That's the way now. So if you're gonna be on the social media and do all the stuff, you got to do what the Romans do when you in Rome.
It has become an
Which is- I'm not.
obligation.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Yes. And it's like
Well, let me
that's a
tell you,
discussion point people got to have.
the pressure I have felt, and my wife, I feel no pressure from my wife. This woman, she don't act no fool about this kind of stuff, okay? She act fool about puppies, but she don't act no fool about this, okay? But sometimes, like, for our anniversary, we'll have a wonderful day. We'll have our plans. We'll celebrate our anniversary. And sometimes I'll go 2-3 weeks without messing around with social media, with the exception of what I do on our page for the radio show, right? And so the next day I'll be like, oh crap, I didn't do the long happy anniversary. I didn't do all that.
It's too much.
And so it's
Just go
like,
get my fur from Alaskan fur. And
this
I'm
is
cool.
some pressure almost. Now, my wife ain't paying no attention. And I wasn't on social media, so I'm like, I don't know if she posted something. But why do we feel like we have to do that and that all of our friends are going to be like, oh, you didn't post your wife on y'all's anniversary, or you didn't post? Like, it's become ridiculous pressure.
However, isn't the difference sort of like you often talk about your daughter and your wife? So people who know you, whether you post or not, they know. And so
Right.
I wonder if with the couples, they ain't posting, and then do you ever talk about you have this other person or this other, there's something more than just the posting. There's something else.
Well,
It's a challenge.
here's what oftentimes comes up.
Infidelity.
Once we get through the you ain't posting me, the next thing that comes out is that there are people pursuing that person. And so the person who is insecure about being posted, which is usually the woman, I'm not saying the men ain't concerned about this. I'm just saying it in couples therapy, it's usually the woman. What she says is, in addition to him not posting me, there are women who are sending him pictures and doing this and doing that. And,
How does she know that?
oh, she's monitoring his page.
I don't have time for that.
She's monitoring his page. I have female clients who have figured out the passwords.
I don't
to
have
get
enough
in-
time
That's
for
a
that.
huge-
to get
trust-
into their
That's
partner's
something.
social media. In fact, I have female clients who, when their partner goes to bed, they will get on their phone and go all through their social media to see who is pursuing them. But sometimes these men, now some of them are like, oh, yeah, I know I know she like me. And I'm like, you doing something with her? Like, because this whole not posting thing isn't exactly silly if you up to something. And so sometimes the fools are up to something. And then at other times they're like, yeah, I know it's women on there pursuing me, but it was women on there pursuing me before me and her got together. And now I'm under pressure to be on social media posting her. And I don't like doing social media like that.
Have they changed their status?
Usually they've changed their status, but that's not enough.
Yeah, I thought
They-
that would be enough.
People want
When I got,
this-
but it don't matter because if a woman gonna come, they're gonna come.
They are, and that's
they don't
the thing.
care about
and,
you
and,
being
and
married.
and
no
that's
more.
what we know.
like it even
That's
more.
why we want you to at least here or there say something about somebody, so
I'm
that
cool.
try to act like you're trying to deflect the fools.
I'm cool.
But should a person have to do that? Because ultimately, my perspective is this. If people are pursuing your mate, it's because you have
They
an
hot.
attractive mate.
Yes.
Like, you want somebody that don't want nobody want.
Exactly.
And if people are pursuing your mate, even if they are posting you, as you're saying, D, that ain't gonna stop them.
it's not.
And
It's not.
this is about your relationship. You need to be in a relationship with someone that you trust, so that even if a woman take her drawers off, she throw them drawers, and they drawers
You
hit
got
him,
Mr. Walker over there.
drawers hit him in the face, that you still should be able to trust your partner to not cheat on you. They're making social media the issue and fighting about you ain't posting me and you know people are after you. No, that's not what this is really about. This is about you don't trust your partner.
I agree.
So why do you not trust your partner? Because we can discuss the lack of trust if your partner has a history of cheating. But if your partner does not have a history of cheating, then you're experiencing some insecurities that have spilled over from previous relationships, and you're punishing your current partner and expecting him to be on social media posting you on a regular basis,
Trying to make you feel
because-
better about
trying to make
yourself.
you feel more secure about yourself.
Now I do believe that if he did step out, I think that he does need to go above and beyond to try to make that better.
If he has a history of cheating,
Yes,
he needs
but
to
if
earn
not,
that
just-
trust back.
You got to earn it back.
Right.
But if not, man, I don't care about social media.
And that's the reason why I always ask couples who are like that, is there a history of cheating? Because I remember back when we was at the mental health center, I had a client who, when she would come to therapy, she'd be like, look outside. I'd look outside, her husband's truck would be out there. He done followed her all the way to therapy. Okay? And he was following her and this and that. And so I met with them for couples therapy, and I said, okay, listen, there seems to be some insecurities going on, and I need to know, like, have you cheated on her? And he's like, I swear I've never cheated on her. And I turned to her and I said, do you have any evidence of him cheating? No. Ask the same thing of her. Have you cheated on him? No, I ain't never cheated on him. Is there any evidence, anything that remotely looked like you two have cheated on each other? No. Now, this couple have been married for over a decade. I figured out where the insecurity was coming from.
he
the-
he got a big stomach. He got bald.
No.
She started making more money.
No.
That's a good one.
Oh, it goes deeper. It goes deeper than that. They both were married to other people when they met.
Oh.
So even though they
okay.
never cheated on
On
each
each
other,
other,
they were
they're
cheaters.
cheaters.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because often they say, where you start is
Is
where
how
you
you
might
end.
end.
Exactly. And
So-
so the two of them has spent the past 10 or 15 years trying to convince each other that even though I was married when we met and I cheated on my spouse with you, we are married, we are together. I'm not going to do that to you. And neither one of them had any evidence that the other had ever cheated. But they couldn't get beyond that because
own
now
guilt.
they were in the position that that previous spouse was in. And so in a way, this whole social media thing is kind of like that with a lot of the couples I'm seeing, and there's no history of cheating, but there's no posting going on. These are insecurities that the person did not work through from their previous relationship.
Yes.
And it is spilling over and it becoming a ridiculous situation. So when it comes to social media, because the question was benefits and costs, I do see benefits to social media. Not this stupid mess that we talking about. But social media has been a way to stay connected to people that you really would have lost contact with.
Especially through COVID, especially.
Well, yeah. Well, and even like when you think about people you went to high school with, if it wasn't for social media, you wouldn't have no contact with them. A lot of
We have
them.
whole
Our class has your class do too.
Has a
have
whole page.
Facebook page.
Yeah. So I do like that social media helps us stay connected, and also like because my baby has grandparents and aunts and uncles that are in Tennessee and Seattle. And so they do get to feel like they're growing up with her because we put the pictures up there and so that they can see her and as she's growing and developing. To me, that's what social media is for. Social media is for staying connected and for sharing pictures and things with your family members and friends that are spread all over the country. All this you need to post me crap to run off people who are attracted to you is ridiculous. And it doesn't work because a person who's going to cheat, a cheater, and this is what I tell couples. If a person is a cheater, nothing you do is going to stop them from cheating.
That's right.
Exactly.
The D knows about this. You cannot police a person so much that they don't cheat.
That's right.
Because I've had couples who have tried to do that. They following each other around and they doing
I
this
don't have
and
the
they
time
doing
for
that.
that. Well,
It's-
done and dark is gonna come to the light.
And if it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till it comes to me. It's gonna hit me in my face.
And we live in a time where it is so much easier for people to have an affair.
It's
Because
not like the 50s and the 60s.
I know people who, over their lunch break, they can pull up an app and find somebody and go have sex with a stranger and make it back to work on time. And so for these spouses who think they're going to police their spouse so much that you're going to keep them from cheating, they can cheat in the middle of the workday. All right. So that's our show for today. Did y'all have any other thoughts on this? Any suggestions to our listeners who are experiencing anxiety because they're not being posted?
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Because the fool ain't gonna post you no way.
He's
Yeah.
not.
And even if
I'm
you get
not.
and even if you do start getting posted, that is not gonna stop a person from cheating.
It's not gonna stop him out, or the women are coming, or the men are coming.
That
I want
makes-
what I want.
That's even more of a challenge
It
for
is.
some women.
It
They like,
truly
oh, he
is.
gonna post her. Oh, I got her. I'm gonna show her
Makes it a
something. 'Cause-
challenge. Right.
Yes,
Which
All
is
right.
which is sad. It's really sad.
it is
Yeah.
sad. It is sad. So work on your insecurities, people. One, stop dating people you don't trust.
Right.
Okay, date people that you can feel secure in the relationship. If your insecurities, though, are your own issues stemming from previous relationships, see somebody.
I have a question. Don't you have like a book or something that's coming out?
Yes, we need to do a whole
we
show. on
talking
the
about all of that because I saw the even. I was like, I thought you was gonna bring my
Yes.
copy.
2 books, my 2 books. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give y'all copies of the book so that we can talk about the book on the show. But yes, it's like this is the one book, and that's a book of analogies. Because some people most people therapeutically will grasp a therapeutic message faster if you create an image in their mind through an analogy, a metaphor, a simile. And then the other book is Therapist Notes Revisited, and all of the profits from that book are going to be donated to a nonprofit.
Love it.
Yeah,
Amen.
so I'm donating all the profits from that book and for 2 years. So the first year is going to go from one nonprofit organization, and then the second year, all the profits from that book is going to go to another one. I'm in the process of figuring out, though. I'm trying to find like what would be a good nonprofit.
We'll talk about that next week.
We need to talk about that next
There were
week.
competitions for that. Make people, send you their stuff.
All right, that's our show for today. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Valencia, for
Amen.
joining
Thank you
us.
for
See you
saying.
guys.
We love having Valencia.
Absolutely.
on the show.
I know.
Valencia, sometimes we be having legal questions and you don't be here.
I'll be here. I'm sorry.
And I'll be trying to come up with legal answers and I'm going to get somebody sued. Thank you for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And pray about everything.
Thank
Amen.
you and God
I agree.
bless.
Bye bye now.
Bye bye.